Do you want to wake up every day feeling the way you did on the best Christmas mornings of your childhood? Creating a great personalised morning routine is what it takes to get yourself as close as possible to that feeling. If you think about how you felt on those days, it's all about the fact that you woke up feeling excited, knowing that the day ahead of you was something enjoyable to look forward to. It's not just the presents that make it this way. What really generates that feeling of wanting to jump out of bed so that you can start the day faster is the fact that everyone is putting effort into being in a good mood. Starting off a day thinking that that day is going to be a great one becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that if you do things to replicate that attitude, you can make every day into one of those can't wait to get started days. The reason getting the start of your day right is so important is that it means you can stop procrastination right off the bat. Getting started with a productive task is harder than continuing with it. An analogy that works quite well when describing this problem is to compare it to a chemical reaction. Before a reaction can take place, you must provide the required activation energy to get things started, and from that point on less energy is required to keep the reaction going. To make things easier, there will often be a catalyst, a substance that, when present, will reduce the activation energy required. Motivational morning activities can be thought of as psychological catalysts that reduce the amount of willpower it takes to get started with a productive day. Since that's the hardest part, the rest of the day from that point onwards should be far easier. Once you've done this, you'll feel better about the rest of the day because you've already achieved something. We've all had the kind of day where we've achieved absolutely nothing and feel worse and worse as the day goes on. By starting off correctly, you're ensuring that it will be a non-zero day and you'll feel better throughout. Morning routines have recently become kind of a cliche. I'm constantly seeing articles being written about various famous people's unusual breakfasts or the time they wake up. People like to look to others for inspiration, but the key is not to copy someone else's habits, but instead create a set of activities in the morning that will work well for you as an individual. In my opinion, the best book on morning routines is Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. Hal's own life experiences are what inspired him to write the book. At age 20, he was in a car accident which left him seriously injured and put him in a coma for 6 days. Even after recovering from his injuries, he experienced further problems when the 2007 economic collapse destroyed his business. After these massive life setbacks, he developed a belief that he needed to take total responsibility for improving his life, and created a morning routine packed with short bursts of lots of different positive activities to change his attitude and be more productive. He called this his Miracle Morning. It's centered around the benefits of 6 morning activities he calls the lifesavers. The first of these is meditation, but here it's called sitting so that the acronym can be the word savers, instead of a sequence of letters people find harder to remember. For a lot of people, hearing the word meditation can make them think of either Buddhist monks or New Age mystics, but it doesn't have to have anything to do with religion or faith. It's a practical exercise, and the physical benefits of it on the brain are 100% real. It works by changing the type of brain waves you have in the short term, and changing the physical structure of the brain in the long term, and all of this can be verified by medical testing. The most basic explanation of how to meditate is that you close your eyes and focus on your breathing, drawing your attention back to the sensation of each breath every time your mind starts to wander. It only takes a matter of weeks of spending 5 minutes a day on this to start seeing the benefits. The second of the lifesavers is affirmations. The point here is to improve self-belief. The way changing your thoughts changes your reality doesn't work by magic, it works by altering the way you behave and the way you respond to stress. Self-talk is something we all do automatically, but that often ends up being negative and self-defeating self-talk. We need to control it instead, to make it work for us instead of against us. To come up with your personalised affirmations, ask yourself the following questions. 1. What do you really want? 2. Why do you want it? 3. Who are you committed to being to create it? 4. What are you committed to doing to attain it? Then, use the answers to these questions as the basis for your self-talk. For example, if someone wants to be wealthy, they want it because of the increased personal freedom that would give them. They're committed to being creative and determined in order to achieve it. And they're committed to working on creating a business every day The third is visualization. This is a great way to improve motivation because it's reminding you of the reasons why you want to be productive in the first place. First, focus on the outcome of what you want, then work backwards from there to consider the process it will take to get you to that point. Doing both of these things together is important, as it will create a link between the effort and reward in your mind. Try to imagine the experiences with all of your senses when visualizing, as this will make the visualization more emotionally powerful and therefore more effective. The fourth is exercise. This works great to change how you feel on a physical level, through the combination of feel-good chemicals it releases, as well as giving you a sense of achievement. The fifth is reading. The main suggestion is to read self-improvement materials that are motivational and inspiring. But anything can work here, since it will make you feel good about yourself, because in the same way as exercise, you'll know you've already done something productive with your time right at the start of the day. Even a few pages each day of the right kind of life-affirming material can make you feel great. The last one is journaling, but in the book it's called scribing instead to fit with the acronym, because if between this and meditation it was maverge instead, it wouldn't be much of a memory tool. What you focus on writing here is entirely up to you. You could focus on the things you learned about yourself while doing the previous parts of the morning routine, or you could make it about the previous day's achievements and make sure they're all written down, or write a short to-do list for the day ahead. The act of writing something encourages self-reflection and prevents you from going through a day on autopilot without thinking about what you're doing. To finish this video, I'm going to talk about how to customize a morning routine to your own preferences. It's important to choose things that you can do quickly, since a long routine might be so daunting you avoid doing it entirely, especially if you have trouble waking up earlier than required for work or your education in the morning. In Miracle Morning, there's even a 6-minute version of the full set of lifesavers, where you do each activity for 1 minute. The downside of this is that for exercise and reading you'll obviously need to spend longer than a minute to get the practical benefits and not just the psychological ones. Luckily, half of the activities can be done entirely in your head and therefore work in any location. Try the various morning activities out for yourself to see how well each of them work for you, and then continue with the ones that work the best. The more often you do any positive morning rituals, the more you will create positive habits to make your life easier from that point onwards. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then subscribe to see more. Have a great day.